Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm gonna discuss about bone health. Because when we talk about sports performance, bone health is one component which is frequently overlooked. See, when an athlete is dealing with fracture or bone injuries, they cannot achieve success. Simple. And here my point is that in sports, you cannot always avoid fractures or injuries, but you can always protect yourself and your bones before they become brittle and easy to fracture. So you need to start optimizing or taking care of your bone health at a young age. Because kids who participate in sports achieve greater peak bone mineral density in early 20s along with adequate nutritional support compared to the kids who are not in sports. In fact, in extreme cases, poor dietary choices coupled with high intensity exercise can actually reduce bone mineral density instead of increasing it. And low bone mineral density among young athletes can really have severe consequences in the future. So athletes, you need to pay attention to your bone health in order to reduce the risk of injury and to have really good bones once you retire from your sport. So in today's video, I'm going to share 5 tips to improve your joint and bone health. But before I begin, if you're new to my channel, then I am Rashmi, Cherian, registered dietitian and sports and exercise nutritionist. I help athletes improve their game by eating right. So if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button so that this video and this channel can reach more and more athletes like you. So now let's get started. Tip number 1, promote or get involved in weight-bearing activity or exercises. So see athletes, when we apply stress or exercise to our bones, we actually strengthen them. So weight-bearing exercise is essential at all stages of life because during these activities, your body bears its own weight, which forces your muscles and bones to work against gravity. So walking, running, jogging, then soccer, basketball, tennis, and dance are among them. Similarly, lifting weights, even lighter weights, strengthen both muscles and bones. So these activities actually help the process of activating your bone forming cells. And by the way, riding a bike or swimming doesn't create weight bearing pressure. Though they are really good for your overall health, but kids should participate in some weight bearing activities. And a lack of weight bearing exercises can lead to low bone mineral density because there isn't enough pressure for the bones to respond to. So to improve your bone health, kids should participate in a variety of sports and activities that stress bones throughout the body. Now, in the process of physical activity, please don't overtrain athletes, and that's my second tip, which is to avoid overtraining. Because on one side, physical activity is required, whereas on the other side, excess of it can be harmful. In fact, it can have long-term consequences for bone health. And athletes, remember that along with excess training, if you're not taking care of your nutrition, then it will be further damaging your bones. So think about it. As an athlete, if you're training hard but not taking care of your nutrition, then you may be depleting your bone minerals without realizing it. You might not be overtraining. You might be training lesser than your peers. But if your current nutrition is not taking care of your current level of activity, then the resulting negative energy balance can deplete your bone mass. In fact, in girls, inadequate nutrition can lead to irregular menstrual cycles and low bone mass, which result in stress fractures. So athletes and parents, make sure you are not overtraining and taking care of your nutrition. And by the way, if you have been following me on YouTube, then you would have noticed I have been talking a lot on the consequences of overtraining because nowadays athletes are excessively training without taking care of their nutrition. So I highly recommend you to watch both these videos to have a deeper understanding on the consequences of overtraining and negative energy balance. All the videos will be linked here on top and in the description box below. Now let's move on to tip number 3, and that is to consume adequate calcium, vitamin D and magnesium. Now, in addition to regular physical activity, eating foods rich in calcium, vitamin D and magnesium are very important for building peak bone mass. So let's begin with calcium. So calcium is the main mineral found in the bones and is very important for the formation and maintenance of strong bones. And you can get calcium from milk and milk products like cheese, yogurt, paneer, then broccoli, spinach and other leafy vegetables. Then vitamin D is required to absorb calcium, and you can get vitamin D from again milk, yogurt, then mushrooms, salmon, tuna and whole eggs. And lastly, magnesium is another mineral which is important for bones, and it helps in regulating the balance of calcium and other minerals in the body, which is very important for maintaining strong bones. And you can get magnesium from nuts and seeds and whole grains. So athletes, if you want to have strong bones, then start including all these foods that I have just mentioned. And I have more videos individually in all these nutrients, and all the videos will be linked in the description box below. Now let's move on to our fourth tip, and that is to eat enough proteins. So athletes, you would have heard that taking more proteins can weaken your bones, but let me tell you, that's a myth. In fact, recent research indicates that protein boosts bone density, which in turn reduces the risk of fractures and other bone-related injuries. So the recommended daily protein intake varies as per your age, weight, sport, etc. But in general, you can focus on getting somewhere around 20 to 30 grams of proteins per meal. So you can look into lean, high quality proteins like eggs, chicken, fish, lean meats, beans, paneer, then tofu, nuts and seeds and Greek yogurt. So isn't it simple to include these foods and improve your bone mass? So athletes, make sure you are not ignoring your protein intake in each and every meal. Now let's move on to the fifth and last tip, and that is to avoid excess salt intake. Sodium, which is found in table salt, is a tricky nutrient when it comes to bone health. So too much of salt can harm your bones, but at the same time your bone health can be at risk if you're not getting enough of salt. So salt helps in maintaining adequate potassium and magnesium levels, and that is why low salt diet can lead to increased risk of osteoporosis. But at the same time, excessive salt intake can also lead to low bone mineral density. So athletes, make sure you monitor your salt intake. Just see you are not over consuming or reducing the amount of salt in your diet, but just focus on getting moderate amounts of salt. So these were the 5 ways through which you can improve your bone health. And all the parents who are watching this video, please help your kids to make dietary choices that promote healthy bones. And if you like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and fellow athletes, because there might be someone who must be dealing with fractures or some bone-related injuries. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, then all the details are here on the screen and in the description box as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend, and I shall see you next week.